Let's start in the defensive backfield. Which players in particular are we looking for? You go first. Name a player.
I don't think there's any doubt. I'm looking for Tarvarius Moore. I think that's a key guy. Why? Because Tarvarius Moore has the skills to play safety. But you know what? When he has played safety, Grant, he's taken some of the worst angles I've ever seen, and almost to the point where he can't play safety. But I've heard that he's been coached up more. I heard that he's taken better angles. Physically, he's dominating. He's long, he's athletic, he's fast, and even despite the injuries he's had, he's maintained a lot of that athleticism. So I think Tarvarius Moore is a guy for sure I'm going to be looking at to see, does he play proper angles, both against the run and the pass? Does he does he turn any small, let's say 12, 15-yard gain into a monster 45, 50-yard gain, like we saw him do against the Steelers with Juju Smith-Schuster a couple years ago? So I know he's got physical ability. That's number one. But now it's just a matter of he's played a lot of corner. Safety's a different animal. How does he look now that he's had some run and some experience at safety?
Yeah, I also want to look at what he looks like physically coming off an Achilles tear, because this guy what he had going for him was elite athleticism. He was a 4'3" guy. He's 6'3". They drafted him to play corner. He doesn't really have a position. He's not good enough in coverage to cover wide receivers on the outside. He hasn't been good enough in tackling, to your point, or taking angles to play safety. I want to see what he has left athletically, because in the one-on-ones, he can't cover. No one can cover Kittle, but it doesn't. I'm not sure that he has that 4.3 speed anymore. I'd like to see it in the game. Maybe he can show it in the game, because they want to use three safety defenses. They want to use three safety packages, and if he's not what he used to be, they can't. I think he's supposed to be the first safety off the bench. I think he's a very important player to this team. I hadn't listed as well. I'll go somewhere else in the secondary, cornerback. I want to see Samuel Womack. I've seen Emmanuel Mosley play. I've seen Travarius Ward play. I know they're very good players. Samuel Womack, and I've also seen Darqueze Dennard. We've seen Darqueze Dennard. He's not a very good player. He's a journeyman at this point in his career. And if he starts, that's a problem for the Fort. If he's the best nickel they have. But they drafted this Sam Womack, and he hasn't played with the starters much, although he's starting to in camp. And when he does get beat, he's right there. I want to see, what is his coverage like in a real game, and will he get flagged? Because to me, it seems like he's right there on all these plays. Is he grabbing, or is he just really good in coverage?
Yeah, that's a great one, because this kid he's winning. By the way, he wears 26 for those of you who are going to the game tonight. Samuel Womack wears 26. He's got all the physical ability in the world. The question is, can he avoid giving up the big play? And I think, and that's a veteran position. You got the two-way go. Dennard's the safer pick, and he's sitting behind Dennard on the depth chart. But I think that spot's open. Now, I know Dennard was impressive at the end of last year. He learned the whole defense in a day and this and that. But you know what? He doesn't have the same kind of coverage ability, I don't think, or body control of Womack. And I think Womack has the ability to steal that job from him in this preseason. And that's that probably is the most important job that's going to be competed for in the preseason, is the Niners nickel corner, which is on the field about 70% of the snaps, more so than their third linebacker is on the field. So it's a very important position, and Womack's got the physical ability, but can he not get gashed? I want to see him eliminate the big plays, because he's had some great reps in camp, and then there's been some reps where it's like the rookie has just gotten lost. He's gotten turned around, and the guy he's covering is running in the clear. That happens in the NFL at 6.
Yes. All I'm saying is, on the outside, the Niners have two corners who take away the quick throws and contest a lot of catches, a lot of PBUs, Ward and Mosley. They don't have that in the inside with Dennard or Quantrez Knight. Those guys, I haven't seen them break up any passes. Womack has. Womack's quick. He has length. I think they want him to win this job, but they just need to see, is the moment too big for him? He's a small school guy. Can he handle this? So this is a test for him. But if he passes it, don't be surprised if he's starting. He's starting the number one nickel week 1.
Yeah, and maybe that might be their best play. I'll go with the same spot, but the guy sitting behind him on the depth chart, you just kind of referenced it, the UCLA kid, Quantrez Knight. And, he's looked a step slow to me in practice. I mean, he didn't run for the stopwatch. That's why he went undrafted. He was a productive player at UCLA, though. And when you watch productive players get into game situations, they typically elevate. Mm-hmm. And I would expect Qwuantrezz Knight to elevate in the second half in this game. But then there's the bottom line. Does he have, I forget the safety the Niners had a few years ago. He was from a tiny little school, and he was Elizabeth City something or Elizabeth something. And he was a great collegiate player, had great college production. But when you saw him on the NFL field with NFL athletes, even though he was thinking it right, he was a step slow because of his physical ability. And that sometimes happens. So I want to see Qwuantrezz Knight. And my question is he an NFL caliber athlete? Because if he isn't, all the coaching in the world, this is a tough position. You have to be an NFL caliber athlete to play it. There's no faking it. Yeah. I just want to see exactly what kind of speed and quickness Knight has.
See, they have him playing nickel, and he's gotten beaten over the top a few times. And if you're giving up go routes, then you're a problem. But he seems like the kind of guy who will be good on special teams, is versatile, that do everything backup. He's probably going to be on the practice squad his rookie year, but he seems like the kind of guy who could be like Dante Johnson one day. You don't really want him starting in your secondary, but he could back up every single position. There might be a future for him here.
There might be. This is a guy that could go either way. Like if you told me that they cut Qwuantrezz Knight, in 2 weeks, I wouldn't be shocked. If you told me that he was their starting nickel at some point this year, I wouldn't be shocked. So that's a huge range of possibilities, and we're going to start seeing it for real tonight. But he is a player to watch for because he wore 24 with the Bruins. If you watch any of the Bruins film, and he made play after play after play. He's one of those guys that just is around the football. Now it's a huge step up in caliber of athletes. Can he still be around the football, and can he not give up the ball over his head? That's a big question.
I agree. I think that's good for the secondary. I'd like to move into, unless there's anyone else you'd like to talk about. I'm pretty much done.
Those are the guys. Those are the guys I'm looking for back there for sure. Yeah. I mean obviously, I'd say Castro Fields, maybe Castro Fields.